All right. We're gonna now open the couch back up, get some hands raised, and we are open for business. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Recap, but
10,
it's morning.
11,
This is my third
12,
favorite
13, 14.
I did it,
All right, we have 14.
Hey, John.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Give me a second.
Okay.
I know. I already skipped ahead.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, 118. I heard that there was a previously on. Okay, I'm gonna do condensed version of my spiel. Welcome. If you're here for the first time, we're Remarcus. We're watching television shows together. Our favorite ones. We're watching Gilmore Girls. I was on the show, but I never watched it, so I'm watching it now with fans. The couch is the area of folks up here who can speak during the episode. If you're one of those folks, please do me a favor and keep your mics muted when you're not speaking. When you are speaking, try and keep the audio on your episode really low or use headphones. Try and squeeze your comments into the air between dialogue. Please, please, please. This happens every time I say it, like, let's keep conversation to afterwards. And I mean it. I just think it's much more helpful if we stick to what's happening in the episode, moment to moment, and really resist getting into like a long conversation with somebody. And we are recording these. If you don't feel comfortable having your remarks publicly available, don't come up on the couch, don't speak. Sometimes we have snags. If your internet goes out or you get knocked off the couch, don't worry, just come back in. You'll be on the couch. If you need to know where we are in the episode, get the Remarcus app at remarcus.com, sign up for an account, go into the event calendar, into the page for this episode. You'll see a time code running. That's where we are. If you don't want the app, that's okay too. You can find the time code on my Instagram. I have an Instagram live playing with the time code. It's 10 seconds off, so it's not as ideal as having an account on Remarcus, but it'll get you close enough. We always skip ahead past previously ons, and there is a previously on for this episode. So skip ahead. You're going to want to get to 1 minute 18 seconds in your episode. That's where the recap ends. That is both on the DVDs as well as on Netflix. Actually, just realized I gotta actually get that going. Sorry, give me a second here. We're going to need 1 minute and 18 seconds to get jumped ahead, and this just reminds me more and more that I have to put in a little offset that allows you to type in the minute that we start.
You want me to add that to the requested feature?
Yeah, why not? That would be nice.
John, I just got a message from a friend who's moving that she's ready for me to come help her, so my spot's available if anyone wants it.
Oh, okay, great. I will move you down to the audience, and I'll open it up one more time for just one more person. We'll see you again soon, Hillary.
Yes, I'll try to catch this afternoon, later on, hopefully.
Great.
Bye, Hillary.
Hold on 1 second before I open the couch. I just want to make sure we get this time code the right place. Just 18 seconds here. $10 seconds.
Amy's here. People, did it give her a spot?
I'm gonna actually just open up the couch. It's fair that way. All right, and we're opening the couch again. All right, we're gonna do Diane. All right, great.
Hey,
oh, hi, Diane.
Hi, good to see you all today.
Good to see you too. All right, we are ready to go. For those of you who are here often, you know that we're going to be hitting our play buttons at the same time. If you're new, have your remote ready, thumb on that play button. We're going to press it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that is some curly hair.
We never got to talk about the hair. Next.
We didn't get to talk about the hair, but I mean, it's just the wet curls. It's just, I don't know, not my thing. But
This looks like day right after wash day hair.
this looks good. This is good hair. I don't know. For me, I like it.
You know, that wasn't negative. I was just,
Oh, this is a good Kirk episode.
All Kirk episodes are good Kirk episodes.
Did he just say what's with the gay bag?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Oh my goodness gracious.
2003 for you.
2004.
I thought it was season 3.
It is.
But we're halfway through the season, so it'll be the new year.
Oh.
This
The band is. I am
probably
in
almost
this episode. I am in this episode because I recognize the title of this episode from Residual Check.
Oh, you haven't been decapitated yet? Oh, dang.
Soon, Lily, soon.
The Wire.
That's gonna be a forever joke, I swear.
I can't imagine a restaurant getting fax orders.
Businesses used to send over like their lunch stuff through the fax.
This is so foreshadowing to our future. Texting over phone calls every time. Wait, how did
Goes, Robert had a
Caesar had a
line.
line?
He didn't actually. I know that this sounds really awful, but he didn't have the line. That was done in Walla afterwards, almost positive. He came in, and that was somebody put that voice in afterwards, and it's a big difference because if he got that line, he's not a background talent, and he gets a different classification. Whereas the Walla folks, they're
He actually said during FanFest that he did have a line. I don't know if it was this.
I don't think it was that one. That one sounded completely dubbed to me. He did have a line. They gave him a line. Like I said, many of these many of the sort of behind the scenes folks, the background talent and the stand-ins, they were there for years, and so they all, I think, got, at some point, they got lines, they got, small featured things, but I don't believe that that's one. That didn't strike me as one. It kind of sounded like studio recording, and they certainly wouldn't have brought him into the studio to do that line.
Your explanation makes sense, but still, boo.
I mean, it's possible that I'm wrong. I mean, that didn't sound like on-set audio. I can't get enough of Yale. I really can't. Single card. Single card.
Grass.
This
Was
was
that
the
the first
season. This was the season where we finally graduated to single card, and I don't think that we go back because once you set precedent, your agents now have that power to always get it for you.
Guess what she's standing?
That laptop.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have some great stories from this apartment.
We cannot wait to hear them.
Excited.
I feel like I have to know what the single card thing is.
Single card means that when in the credits, you're the only name on the screen. And double, like a shared card would be both your name and somebody else's name. And Todd and I shared a card for the first season of the series and part of this series. And then we started getting our own cards, meaning like our own name alone on the screen in the opening credits. That's a big deal. And if you get that, you usually don't lose it.
Oh my gosh, Kara put that lighter on that doorknob. I can imagine her drink over.
I was gonna say that, imagine her.
She'd be one of those people that had like a Dwight sort of like hazmat suit.
Oh, Karnak. Who's old enough to remember Karnak?
I am.
Here, here.
I was young, but yes.
Carson was phenomenal. I'm not actually that old, but I do remember it. I agree. You're not gonna see her. Aww.
I love that.
So
It makes my heart happy.
that warms my heart.
Pierpont.
Wow, that dress. The statement piece.
That's totally my style. I wish I just had the body to wear it like she does.
Oh wow, that mustache is really guess it's really getting more mustachy, isn't it?
It's a new
Both
character.
be extremely warm every single episode. All those layers.
I think he's using Dippity Doo for his mustache also.
Yeah, I mean he's getting close to handlebar there.
Oh, that's surprising. The Moby references in the early 2000s TV shows are just overwhelming.
Absolutely. He was everywhere.
Moby?
I don't know who that is.
Lily, he was big when you were very little.
I was like one when this or two when the season came out. at this point, so, yes.
I agree, Emily. I think Rory would have looked cute with the nose ring. She's got a cute little nose.
This is actually the year that I got mine done back when this came out.
Yeah, I agree with Sherry, but I'm pro everyone getting a nose ring if they want to.
I feel like a
I think they look cool.
specifically would be good on her.
It would have looked good and it would have made sense. It's sort of when a lot of the nose rings come into existence.
I could imagine Paris like getting a belly button ring and like coming home and going like, "Oh my gosh, you won't believe what I did."
Well, remember in an earlier episode, she had gotten a nose ring and took it out because it's,
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
she had the allergic reaction.
I honestly kind of thought that maybe she was just like faking so that people would think about that instead of her asking.
Is this another Kirk job?
Yeah, best job.
Best one.
Love it.
Cutest dog. Hucky. The big fluffy one.
Saint Bernard. And it's a poodle.
There's a little Shih Tzu there that always reminds me of my mom's son.
What kind of dog is the really big fluffy one behind the poodle?
Saint Bernard.
Really?
Yeah.
I would sue Kirk for doing this, though, letting dogs go off the leash.
I mean, they're lucky there's not much traffic.
You hired Kirk to be your dog walker. You
Exactly.
responsibility.
You're
You
wrong.
have
There's some liability that you know I'm getting.
I mean, he looks really happy. It's adorable.
Oh, the hair flip. Like a little flip at the bottom.
Yeah, it looks really good. In her.
Now I have Macho Man stuck in my head.
If they'd never dated, this wouldn't be as weird to me.
How the smile went to kind of like a frown, seeing her behind Lori's head.
A little awkward.
Someone's nervous between the two of us.
Rory's face.
Ooh, whoa,
are you?
that's interesting. That is very interesting.
It was just a look.
But a very
Yeah.
telling look. Very
Oh yeah,
telling.
definitely. But still, at the
She
moment,
mouthed
it's just a
at
look.
him, "Are you?"
It's a question.
Danny Giles
He
in the
looks
background.
very big for that stool.
Danny Giles, he was also a crew member, the guy that's standing with him in the back. It's so cool, you know, that they really did use like so many folks that were like just the Gilmore family that you all don't know, but they were just as much a family as all of the actors.
There was the gap.
I used to
This
love
is the
Gap.
real mall. There's
Yeah,
no way-
which mall is this?
So does that mean that they shut down the mall for a day to do it?
A portion of it, probably. Yeah.
They have that many extras. Like I would think that'd be some of the people already walking to the mall.
No.
Whoa,
no.
Rory's
Those are all, every one of those is an extra. Every one of them.
That's crazy.
You know, the older we all get, the more kind of nostalgic we'll be for the mall episode.
The
Because,
Burbank Mall.
yeah, malls are disappearing.
Yeah, I know there's a mall near the WB Studios in Burbank. I wonder if
Yeah.
it's that one.
It is. It's the Burbank Mall. I checked IMDb.
Yeah, the Burbank Town Center Mall, in Burbank on Magnolia Boulevard.
John, do you recognize her?
Inventory purposes.
Or is that a different girl? That's a different girl. Never mind.
That's
Yeah,
because-
that's her actual cousin.
It's her
We
cousin.
have- Do we have any Korean community members that may have had any experience similar to this that we can verify how real this is, or the mothers particularly, or is that just funny, hyperbole?
I don't know about community members, but I have a friend that's Korean whose mother is very much like this.
I've always thought that some of it wasn't just Korean, but it was also where she's Seventh-day Adventist, like the religion was a little bit stricter too. So I thought maybe that was part of it.
Okay. No, it don't blow.
That's all she's taking out of that whole room.
Step away from Lake Christine. Just
I think there was more.
it seems a little exaggerated.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that was her last load.
Yeah, continuity.
Oh, this is sad though.
Rory's height is just odd.
Is that a Forever 21?
The Burbank Mall. Burbank Mall.
What if Forever 21? Because I remember when Forever 21 used to look like that. No one? Okay.
I think Asha does look like Forever 21 with the brighter colors in the windows.
I was thinking like with the window part because I remember in my mall back home when a Forever 21 looked like that. I missed that. That was good.
I never shopped at them, so I couldn't answer your question.
It might be.
Yeah, and I wasn't like old enough to know what Forever 21 looked like, so I couldn't answer that either. I didn't even know they existed in the early odds.
They definitely existed in like 2005, but
They were big.
yeah.
There was one here at the Mall of America for a long time, but I haven't been out there in about a year and a half, so I don't know if it's still there.
Are you talking about Forever 21?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Forever 21, I feel, is as old as the 90s.
It's definitely at least from 2000.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're still around. There's not too many left, but yeah. They did go into bankruptcy at one point.
I think
Kind of close to my house.
I think there was a carousel in that mall.
What, all malls don't have carousels? Just like,
I think it's so funny that they think they're actually going to hide themselves with their hands like that.
Forever 21 came out in 1984. Oh, wow.
I would have ignored her so quick. I would have ran. Lizzie McGuire, like the cartoon. That's where Rory's hair is reminding me of. I remember. The little flips with the
Yes.
I had this hairstyle, but more like the Reba McEntire. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Never mind. Oh my gosh, do you remember Sears? I remember
Oh
Sears.
yeah, I was gonna point that out. That's what my Sears looked like in my mall before it closed.
I worked at Sears for many years.
This doesn't strike me as something that Emily, I mean, would Emily go to a mall like this?
oh,
Just the rich Sears stores. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I don't see her going to a mall. I see her going to like, a standalone.
There you are, John.
Oh my God, who is that? That handsome little devil. And who's
Who's
that?
that?
Your apartment's one of my favorite parts of the show.
I love Lane's sweater.
I disagree. Let Brian display his Futurama action figures.
this conversation.
I love Futurama, I'm sorry.
No, it's the show, sorry.
John, do you have Futurama figures?
Yeah, do you like Futurama?
He's watching it.
I always love the Zach and Brian banter.
Oh my God, Brian has Mr. Nibbler.
I like Bender.
Exactly, Brian, let him know.
Oh,
You
God.
tell him. Yeah, exactly.
What are you guys, 4?
Oh, she has.
She has her own room. Oh.
Oh, I wish Jason was watching this with me.
Oh man, I forgot all of this.
That was my
really
favorite.
great.
That
I
was
love
so
that
sweet.
scene so much.
Yeah, that is my favorite. men
a lot of men scare me, but like, you know, they are totally not toxic at all. Beautiful.
So John, are you a collector of little figurines and stuff, action figures?
He's watching.
Wait a second. Am I really supposed to believe a mall store has got like some antique? No way. I mean, this mall has a Radio Shack, people.
Richard never should have told her she's shopped enough in her life.
That guy went to the Gap and then he was coming here.
Everything is for sale. Oh, I love the delivery on that line.
She takes retail therapy to like a different extreme.
Level.
I just can't. I can't get over that. This is all in a mall.
It could be like Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus or one of the more upscale department stores.
Bloomingdale.
Yeah, but I just, for whatever reason, I feel like even that is a little below Emily.
You guys have a Bendel's out there?
I mean, I'm sure that this mall has an Orange Julius in it.
Just watch.
Guess we'll see.
No comment.
If they go to an Orange Julius, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those higher end stores in the mall. I think someone was like naming them off because there was a name of a shoe designer, Manolo Blahnik or something along those lines, and I just looked them up and they're very expensive.
Manolo Blahnik.
Manolo Blahnik. Yes, of course. This is 2004 anyway.
I'm always the type of person, me and my grandma would hide behind a rack and like stare at and listen to an ass about.
Whoa, she is bringing it all up. Always.
She hasn't let go of any of it.
Yeah, or let's also say she may also be holding on to some Penelon lot. Penelon
Right.
lot. Is that right? Lot.
Yeah, Pendleton lot.
Pendleton? I thought it was Pennylyn.
It's
Pendleton.
Yeah, it's Penlyn.
Penny Lynn.
Pennylyn. Yeah, Pennylyn. Pennylyn.
But
Pendleton.
you kind of blur the Y in penny, so it's like Pendleton.
Pennylyn. Pennylyn lot.
Let's not miss this scene, guys.
The food court. Yay.
I mean, a
love
food
the
court. Oh my gosh, there's got to be please let there be an Orange Julius here.
What food do you think she'll eat in the food court?
I love Orange Julius.
Panda Express, Sparrow.
So all of these stores have to be cleared for them to be able to like have them, right?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. The Sparrow in the background is kind of blurry. I mean, yes, everything in a show has to go by clearance. Like the clearance department reads the script and they watch the episode. But they would probably say that all of this is fair use. This is gross.
Orange Julius, John.
Orange Julius.
What?
Orange Julius.
Yes. Yes.
When
you're
don't
on,
hate me.
you
are on.
Now, don't hate me, but I do not like Orange Julius.
Never had one. And don't plan.
So many drinks.
We have a Jamba Juice over here.
I love green.
I love Jamba Juice.
Oh, you were loud.
Just a tad.
I'm not a big fan of the straight hair, but I love the color that she went with.
Is Emily left-handed? Because her fork is in her left hand and her knife is in her right hand.
No, that's how you properly cut the thing.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, that's how you properly eat, because you're supposed to, you have the knife in your dominant hand, and then you take the fork in your left, and then that's how you're supposed to eat. But most people just cut, then switch the fork over to their dominant hand, and then eat.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Takes too much time to
left-handed,
switch
and that's
hands
how I
every
do
time.
it, so I was wondering.
Guys, let's pay attention.
Are those games in the background real?
Yes.
Yeah, they look real.
Yes, Galaga, one of my favorite games ever.
Well, I mean, Galaga's a real game.
Maybe he doesn't like that Donna Reed life as much as he thought he was going to.
Interesting.
Ooh. I see some real drama coming. How about you?
Dun dun dun.
We'll see.
I have to be honest, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about that storyline, about Rory Dean's storyline. Seems like it might be headed for some kind of collision of sorts. I don't know what exactly, but I have a feeling it's not going to be pretty.
I love that. I love that they like the free item most. It's funny.
As she's saying that rich people do what they want, he asked her,
What's going on here?
they should afford their own coffee.
Oh,
I'll take
is this Paul Anka?
No.
No.
Oh, no. You're crazy.
The last dog I rescued, I did this with him just because of his name, to try to figure out what his name was before I found him.
That gave me very Dwight Schrute vibes. What Kurt just said would have been a great password.
You'll have to talk to Sean about that, John, next time you see him. The dog thing.
Ask him. What should I ask him?
What his name really is.
How much fun was it working with all those dogs? Otherwise, I don't know what you'd ask them.
And is he a dog person like he's a cat person?
He likes dogs. He once told me, because I thought that he did, because he's always just really liked cats, and I said something to that effect, and he said, I like dogs. I just, dogs dogs need you or else they die, whereas cats can kind of do their own thing. And I think that was his way of saying, like, I just can't have dogs right now in my life.
This whole diner scene with the three of them is probably my favorite scene.
Feels a lot like a family scene to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love this.
Wow, and then
This is crushing.
and then
This
parallel
is crushing. Apple crushing.
two scenes that are the opposite. Oh no, are these two gonna get separated? Oh no.
She's just letting it all fester.
Oh.
Ouch.
So sad.
So crushing.
Oh.
Richard, what the hell, Richard?
And the taking of that.
Oh man. Wow. Okay.
Yep. Woo.
All right. So I'm gonna bring folks up onto the couch. I need to use the little boy's room, and I really want to make myself another coffee. I hope that you're okay. That could shift our next episode by a few minutes. But
That's fine. Go do.
Do what you got.
I'm going to make Tiffany. I'm going to make you moderator. If you could do me a favor and just start bringing folks up onto the couch.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
In that last scene, I was like, just picturing the chandelier falling onto the table. That would have been such a good blooper.
Oh no, that's terrible.
With the that like really tense ticking of the clock and like no music, just the ticking of that clock, and then the sugar falls on the table. And the apples. So I've been drinking tea a lot more, and I got myself an electric tea kettle. I think I mentioned this before, and I've been drinking like Yorkshire red and like Scottish breakfast tea, but I can't tell what's the perfect like milk to like tea ratio. Anybody got any idea?
Splash, just a splash. Have you tried Yorkshire Gold?
No, but I have like over 100, well, less than 100 now. I bought a 100-pack of Yorkshire Red, so, and I have a whole thing of Scottish breakfast tea, so it's gonna take a while.
Up to
Fair
you. Some people feel like their tea.
British tea just does something. It, like British tea can't. It's so superior. And I use oat milk because I am lactose intolerant.
Yeah, I like cashew milk.
Really good stuff.
Cashew
Oat
milk,
milk,
right?
I like
What?
Very
No,
creamy.
no. The Khalifa brand oat milk is really good for tea because it's like almost, because British people use like whole milk, and obviously I can't have whole milk, and so oat milk, the Khalifa brand, is really like the next best thing because it's super creamy.
Have you ever
John
tried
left his mic
milk?
on. We're gonna get.
I have. It's a little too nutty.
Oh.
What if I'm lactose intolerant too, but I can drink a amount of milk, so a splash shouldn't be such a big problem if you're not allergic to it.
No, like I still have like, I'm a masochist in this way. I have some dairy products, like yogurt doesn't bother me. The only things that bother me are the things that are really like, you can definitely like there's the dairy in it, because yogurt has like so many different additives that you can't really taste like the dairy part of it. So like cheese, milk, ice cream. Cheese I don't have outside my house.
So has anyone else ever tried to do what they do here in the scenes of the mall with the food court?
I actually
Oh yeah, I've done that.
filmed.
I don't think I've ever done
Like a
that.
whole bunch of stuff
Thought
with
about it.
a chair. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
I
filmed
think
it.
it's family style.
Yeah, I did. So when I was in college, my capstone project for my media like final when I was graduating was a web series about Gilmore Girls, where I was like interviewing people and like getting sort of like I love the like VH1's I love the 70s like meet Gilmore Girls. And one of the things I did was one of my best friends and I were supposed to drive up to the area outside of Toronto where they filmed the pilot, like where the original Gilmore house was and everything. We were gonna go on a road trip, and then my friend's car broke down like kind of just as we were leaving my parents' house. So we figured that out, but she didn't feel it, like she was just having problems with her car. So she's like, I don't feel comfortable like going across the border and doing this. Like, can we do something else? And I said, actually, if you want to like get takeout from the mall, we can like go do kind of like recreate this episode minus like the Emily shouting thing in the store. And we like watched that episode. We came home with like food court food and watched that episode and talked about it. So yes, I have done the food court thing.
That sounds so cool, but I can't imagine having that many different flavors of like drinks and different food types. Because just the trays they came back with. How do two people eat that much?
A lot.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell you food court. The last time I took my students to a field trip, it was great because nobody fought over if we choose a restaurant over the other. Okay, you can choose whatever you want.
But what doesn't make sense is they say they're not shopping because they have no money, and like all of that food
if they
would
had
not
money
have been
for that,
cheap.
yeah. Yeah.
I know. I always thought
food
the
is part
same
of a
thing.
budget.
Yeah, food was part of the budget. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I have to say, I feel like in 2003, junk food was cheaper. In that, like right now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can get
Yeah.
my family McDonald's. It's more expensive than getting like pizza. But
Yeah.
back then, it
Depending
was
on what you get though.
true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't imagine that getting junk food would be cheaper than riding the carousel, because when Lorelai's like, "Do you want to ride the carousel?" Rory's like, "No, it costs money."
Well, plus you
I
didn't
think
wanna
they
sit
did
on
it for
everything,
Emily.
so- Yeah.
I think they did it so that they could sit with Emily and have some time with her and show her what they enjoy about the mall. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
John,
That's what, that scene was one of my favorite moments between the girls of just the three of them. That was awesome. That time, even Emily's craziness and all that stuff, but that time that they all three spent together, that was awesome. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this
I
is one of my
actually-
favorite.
I actually avoid the food court, because I'll do this exact thing. So, and I
Little
don't want to
self-
spend a bunch of money,
Little
and also because
self-promo,
I can't fit in the train, so.
little self-promo. Anybody wants to go check out the tweets from these 3 episodes? That'd be cool.
I'm back.
OMG, welcome back.
Back again.
That was for Carol. That was for Carol. Carol, are you here? Yeah, that was for you.
I thought maybe.
Hey, John, I have a comment about Orange Julius.
Yes.
So they're owned by Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway. That's that company
they are.
Lubrizol is owned by, which is just, remember Lubrizol and the
Oh,
and the electric? Yeah.
yes.
company.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And-
Yeah, I mean, just Orange Julius, just such a mall thing. Like I kind of feel, I feel sort of victorious that I got that one right, but then at the same time, I also sort of feel like you write a scene that takes place in a mall and you don't use the Orange Julius. You're just, it's a missed opportunity.
I
never
have
had
a
it.
really important question. What is Orange Julius? I'm sorry,
Never
but I
heard
don't.
of Orange
Orange
Julius until I
Julius.
saw it on Gina on Gilmore Girls.
Okay,
I said,
Orange
so
Julius,
far,
like,
we don't have Orange Julius here.
all right, Orange Julius. Orange Julius is a mall. It's a mall store, like a mall food store that only sells a drink called the Orange Julius, which is
Smoothie.
it's a smoothie, but it's really not. I mean, it's just all it is really orange. It's just orange juice and cream, right?
But there's
It tastes
more
like a
things.
creamsicle.
I think it's a creamsicle or a
It tastes
dreamsicle.
like a cream. It tastes like a
Yeah.
creamsicle.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
You can make
I
it
hate
at
creamsicles.
home.
That
That's
sounds
why I
amazing.
made it at home.
I love
If you're all talking at the same time, sorry.
Sorry, it tastes. Wait, so it tastes like a creamsicle, which is these orange popsicles that are kind of orange and creamy. It tastes exactly like that. It's called an Orange Julius, and they're pretty tasty, but they're just it's just
They have all different types of flavors.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I don't
thank
think we
God.
have
I
one
don't
here.
actually like the Orange Julius.
I think
Yeah.
Dairy Queen. Isn't Dairy Queen like their sister too? Their sister company. They're like
Yeah,
sometimes
Really?
they can, a lot of the Dairy Queens have the Orange Julius combined with them. But yeah,
TGI
so
Fridays
some of them
used to have-
also.
I'm sorry, TGI Fridays used to have an alcoholic drink that was like that. And
Oh.
my husband loved it. Like when we could bring it home in the blender, they started selling it like in the stores. I don't even know if TGI Fridays exist anymore, but but they used to.
well. I love
They do.
I love the taste. I love the taste of a creamsicle. Like I like that. I like that orange creamy taste. Like so, I dig an Orange Julius. But let's dive into the episode. I want to start. If you don't mind, I would just like to start by saying this is the first episode where I can speak not as the actor who played Brian in the show and say officially, I freaking love Zach and Brian. Like I
Are you a little
freaking
biased?
love them. I love them in this episode. It's the first one. I think it's the first one where I just love those characters. Beforehand, I was sort of like, yeah, they're kind of funny and kind of sweet and whatnot. But like, this was the episode where I'm like, I feel the way I feel about those characters is like kind of how I feel about the Tana character, where I'm just like, oh, I hope that I keep seeing these guys.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, now you guys are roommates, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Like, even though we've all seen it, I'm really looking forward to like you seeing like all your guys' interactions because it's just so damn fun.
I have some really great memories from there. I can say this, that the wall where the cupboards are, where she saw the rat, I guess, inside the cupboard, that whole wall is fake. It moves completely out of the way, like 100%, including the sink and all of that stuff, because that's behind there is where they sometimes will have to shoot the apartment from the other direction, or from, when they're shooting scenes in the kitchen, they have to shoot it from a variety of angles. One of the angles that they would need to shoot it from sometimes is, from behind there. There's a scene that will come later that I'll get into specifics on. But I just love that I just loved that apartment set.
Does
Lane's
room and the bathroom like change too? Like where they are in the house?
No, her bedroom's the same bedroom that's there, all the way to that scene where Zach and Lane kiss at her bedroom door with my butt in between them. That's the same exact location for it.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry. The bathroom is just right around the corner from the kitchen, right? Like, so if you were walking straight out of the kitchen towards the bunk beds and you just like made an immediate left and then made an immediate another left, that would be where the bathroom was. But that's not really a bathroom. That's just a bunch of the crew just standing right behind there. Like, you just walk around and there's nothing there. It's just like, where the video monitors are, it's where the director is, and all of that stuff.
We got 12 minutes to harvesting.
Anyway, I just wanted to start. There's not really much to talk about with the Lane and Zach and Brian stuff. Just only to say that, like, it was the first moment where I felt like, and I don't know, I mean, maybe others disagree. Maybe they feel like they were already attached to the Zach and Brian characters before this episode. Maybe they feel like they're not quite attached to them yet, but this is where I get attached to those characters.
I'd like to add to that.
What's up?
Me too.
Yeah, add to that.
I'd like to add to that. I think the progression with the guys, with Lane in this episode, is basically they instantly went from being bandmates to like friends and like family for Lane. You know what I mean? Like they're living together. It's outside of the construct of just being in a band together.
Totally. And then, with the fact that Lane has sort of lost family, right? Like, she's like now kind of feels like she's just, floating out there on the ocean alone. When it comes to that, like, she can't go to Yale anymore. She's not at home, right? So like these two characters suddenly, like without them really trying, just suddenly are there. They're there to be her new family. It's just really awesome.
Imperfectly perfect family.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that, like, even though she didn't follow the same path as Rory, she's kind of doing more age appropriate. Like, she's getting roommates like you would in college. So I like that she's experiencing the age appropriateness of this whole situation, but it's just in a different way.
I agree. That was
Totally.
my favorite scene in the entire episode, especially when Lane finds out that Zach and Brian left the second shelf for her, and she hugs them, and she literally gets teary-eyed. It's like one of my favorite things. And she's like, "This is gonna work. We're gonna make it work, one step at a time." Like, it's my
Totally.
favorite scene from that episode, just because you really start to see them bond as friends and really do become family, and it's just so sweet, and I love it.
Yeah, and also that's what I meant when I said they don't even really do it, like they aren't really trying to be nice. They just like, I don't think that they like gave her that shelf because they were like, you know, trying to be nice. They just gave her that shelf because they were kind of like, they kind of felt like, you know, Lane deserves that because she has all of those CDs. Like there was just something about it that was so honest and like it just felt right, you know, like that, you know, rather than them trying to make it work, these guys just, it seems like as quirky as they are, they just sort of oddly fit together perfectly.
Yep, 100% agree.
So John, what are your personal feelings about Futurama?
My personal feelings is that I've never watched it, but I'm totally down for adding it as a space here on Remarcus and watching it with anybody who's into it, because it seems like it would be my jam. I love Rick and Morty, so like it's like I like comedy, like adult comedy animation. Love.
Yeah, if you like Rick and Morty, you'd like Futurama.
Yeah, I love The Simpsons, you know, so I can imagine loving Futurama. Just never got into it. Like it was on, you know, like the bulk of it was on at a time when I actually wasn't really watching any television. And so I think that was sort of the main reason. But yeah, so the answer is just quite simply never watched it. Sabrina.
This is my absolute favorite episode out of all of them. I love the Emily stuff. I like seeing that she actually lets go of trying to be like top of the world type thing and lets her emotions out. And Frig, I love Kirk so much. I laughed so hard when he's like saying the dog name. It just brings me joy, so much joy. And then there's the Lane story. It seems like it's like the perfect episode, and it also shows how creepy Dean is.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this. I have a theory. Got my theory.
Hey, John, sorry to interrupt. I just got a message from Sherry that said that he got kicked out of the room.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let me know.
Thank you, Clubhouse.
Every time.
Clubhouse really doesn't like her profile for some reason.
That's what I was about to say. Like, why does Clubhouse pick on Cherry?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess New York will that.
I really don't know. Is it her New York accent?
I mean, I'm from New York too, and I have a New York accent, but I don't ever get kicked out. So
That is a
accent.
funny theory that like that Clubhouse has like an algorithm that can tell New York accent. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Oh, she's bummed. She's like ready. She's on Instagram Live. She's ready to cry. I got kicked out again. Ugh. I mean, the only thing that I can say is I just can't wait for us to have our own chat.
We love you, Sherry, and we'll miss you.
Just keep trying, Sherry. I don't know what else to say.
Has she deleted the app and tried to like
Just turn off the phone and turn it back on.
She might need to update.
she's done that
Yeah,
before.
she's updated her app. She's tried deleting it before and adding it back. It's like nothing will help. It's just Clubhouse being nasty.
I was just gonna say, for whatever reason, it just popped up on my screen that I needed to update my account.
Yeah, I should probably update mine as well because
So where are we? I feel like we're kind of all over the place right now.
well,
Hey, I have
Somebody said something about.
did anybody make the connection with the Woody Allen movie? I missed a little bit of the beginning. Did you guys talk about like scenes from a mall and that this might have been like somehow copied from where they're going through and it's Woody Allen and Bette Midler? And
No.
they're trying to go through and hash out their divorce, decide whether or not they're going to get divorced.
No.
It's similar.
mm-mm.
It's from like 1991.
No,
It was one of my favorite movies because I love Bette Midler, but
I don't really watch. I don't really
seen that one.
watch a lot of Woody Allen films.
No.
I know that's the only one. I only watched it because of Bette Midler.
I watched that one years ago. It was really good.
But it has the same name, so I kind of thought that it's a similar way that they're moving through the mall, and I think it's very much copied from that.
Woody Allen's a bit of a
distasteful character, so I don't really.
Yeah.
So where are we? And like,
Yeah, so
Dean and Rory theory.
yeah, so Dean and Rory. Do you want to hear my Dean and Rory theory?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
That's
That's where we
say
were.
whether you're right or wrong though.
As long as you know
Um,
we're not gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I just said.
it's obvious. Come on, like, come on, like,
Well, come on.
Rory's in
don't
it.
do your theory.
Rory's in
Can
it.
you stop with the little interruptions when someone is talking, because it actually cuts out the sound of the person who's speaking.
Who?
Just let people speak. Thanks.
Whatever.
Okay, so here's my theory. I mean, look, Rory in a real bad place right now, really confused, really frustrated, trying really hard. Clearly, Dean, like, is not feeling totally grounded in his marriage. These two are gonna hook up. Like, bottom line, these two are gonna hook up. If they don't hook up, I'll eat my shoe.
Do we have a
Do
camera?
we have confirmation that you will eat your shoe?
That's true.
I will eat my shoe. I will boil my shoe and eat it.
Let's put that in
Okay, I
writing.
won't do that. I won't do that because that will get me very sick. But
You'll give us all 50 kernels. You'll give us all like 50
I'll give
kernels.
you all 50 kernels. No,
I'm-
I don't know if I have the ability to give you all 50 kernels, but I will. Yeah, I can give you 50 kernels. I'll give you all 50 kernels. I think I can do that.
50,000 kernels.
Well, we
really
have it on
genu-
tape.
I really genuinely think that they're going to hook up. I feel like that's the trajectory that they're taking this. I thought that the Dean character was like, I kind of like felt like that whole storyline was not resolved. Remember, I talked about that all last season, you know, with the marriage and, you know, him saying, I love, you know, why doesn't she love me? You know, now she's like, and that, again, I'm not necessarily saying she does love him or that she is, you know, this is all coming from like, Rory is clearly like a little scrambled right now. And if that happens and he's married, it seems to track for me. That's my theory. I'm holding on to it until I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, you know, I'm the first to admit it, and you guys will all get 50 kernels.
Woohoo! We have that on recording.
Goodness gracious.
The shoe thing sounded much better.
Not about the episode though.
All right. Let's hear it.
So with Emily, where were we on this? Like just talking about like Zach and Brian, or are we on like, oh, we're on Dean and Rory? I feel like it's very clear that with what happened in the previous episode where Rory broke down in front of Dean and Dean was so willing to like be there for her, and then what happened in the inn was it's like putting pieces together, and we're just waiting for something to happen because we can all feel it. Viewers can feel it. They can feel it whether they want to or not. And it's like anticipation. The anticipation is just building. And I feel like with how Dean was at the end of the episode when he was talking with Luke and then just got distracted by Rory, it's very evident that there's like more to there's more than what was said in the last episode. And so I feel like I said, there's just like, it's just waiting. We're all just waiting for it to happen. So John, I think like, I'm not going to say whether you're right or wrong, but you have a good theory.
Do you feel a certain way, John, about either way? Like if Dean wasn't married? I know you're not a team person, but just to clarify.
What?
I mean, do you want her to be with Dean?
I don't want her to be with Dean now. No, I mean, he's married. I mean, he's married, and that's period. You know, I mean, he's married, and like, you know, I feel like what they had. I really liked what they had, but that's what they had, and you know, I think at this point, unless like things change majorly for both of them, and they're in a different place in both of their lives where it really can work again, I wouldn't want them to be together at this stage. I certainly wouldn't want them to be together to hook up because Rory's confused and, you know, and he's unsatisfied and all of that kind of stuff like that. I wouldn't want that to be, I wouldn't want that to be a part of it at all. Like, that's not what I mean when I say I'm Team Dean. You know, I'm Team Dean because I liked what they had, and I thought that it really worked, and I, you know, when it was at its best, I thought that it really worked, and I thought like that he was a great guy for her in so many ways. Like, he was a good boyfriend, you know, I don't have the, like, you know, we've talked about this before. You weren't actually there for a lot of this, Zachary, because you came in a little later, you know, once that relationship had already kind of come to an end. But I talked about it a lot, that you know, the loudness and like the clinginess just didn't bother me for that character as much as it bothered other people. I sort of saw vulnerable sides of him, and I saw just a good guy that, you know, that I think was treated poorly in that relationship. But right now he's married and she's, you know, super stressed out with school. It's just like not at all when these two should be getting together. So if they do, that, for me, that's a fail.
Well said. I appreciate you sharing.
Yep.
So John, I don't know if you want to talk more about Dean and Rory, but maybe with the way you ended that, we should move on to maybe Richard and Emily or the mall stuff.
I just wanted to say one thing about that whole scene. I thought it was interesting how Lindsay and her mom came in, and there wasn't any awkwardness between them, but with Rory and Dean, because you would think that usually the wife would come in and see her husband with an ex and be like all freaked out, but instead it was they were having a reaction. She was just so innocent about it, and so was her mother. I thought that was interesting.
Very interesting. Did we lose you, John?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that towards me?
Oh, I think that was the final comment. So we were thinking about pivoting to another topic.
Yeah. Let's pivot to I mean, do we want to talk about the mall stuff? Yeah. How, I mean, I don't know. Is it just silly for me to just think it's just absolutely ridiculous that Emily is in that mall? I don't know. I just couldn't get it out of my head. I know that it serves the episode very well. I love the scene in the food court. It's really great. It just like everything from like these mall workers that seem to know his size to like some antique vase that's come into like a Bloomingdale's. Just like, it just didn't really like. It seemed a little goofy to me.
I used to work at sort of a high end. I don't know if anybody remembers some Elder Beerman, but they were sort of high end. And I used to work in the bridal registry, and we did not have. We had fancy china that people would register for and then never get all of their place settings. But other than that, I mean, you wouldn't get anything that was ever like antique or some sort of. I mean, you might have like, what is that, Swarovski crystal stuff? That's probably like the fanciest stuff you would get.
See, like, I don't even see Emily into that kind of stuff. Like, I see her probably thinking that that's just too commercial and cheap, you know, like that she goes directly to like, you know.
Sabrina's flashing.
Sabrina?
Well, first of all, as someone who spent a summer working as a jeweler at Sears, every time I see one, I hope that it burns to the ground. But I do love the mall. I really love the mall, and I love this episode as sort of like a time capsule of something that is kind of disappearing. You know, I don't know if everyone feels that way, but in New York, there are not really a lot of malls, and even like outside of New York, where I'm from, in Rochester, a lot of the malls are shutting down, and you know, you kind of only have one mall now, where there used to be three or four in sort of like mid-sized American cities. So that
that was cute. But I will say, John, it's not surprising to me that they are at the same mall. And I will say that I love this episode because it shows just how similar they are in so many ways. They kind of get to that both in the shopping, even though they're kind of taking different approaches. They both, or all three of them, kind of share the love of shopping. And then that kind of goes back to where Jason was talking about, you know, oh, you can shop online. And you could tell that, you know, Lorelai and Emily and Rory all really enjoyed the experience of being at the mall. So it was cool to see kind of like those opposite ends, like how they experienced something so similar in different ways kind of coming together at the end where they're in the food court.
Yeah, I mean, the food court scene was just, that was just magic. That scene is just awesome. It felt like the whole episode was really, or like that whole storyline was really like designed to get us there.
Yeah, every time they bring Emily into their world, I love it. Like showing her all these different things that are below her that she just isn't used to. I love it.
Like there was another scene that we had in the mall. Remember, there was the scene for Rory's birthday,
Yep.
where they're shopping in the mall,
Yeah.
and Emily seems sort of a fish out of water in that episode in the mall. She, you know, maybe it wasn't because they weren't in the section of the mall that was her, that's more her wheelhouse. But like, you know, I don't know. Malls to me are just like, they're just all, even the high end stores in a mall just feel a little, the whole thing feels a little cheap.
Pedestrian.
Yeah. Diana?
Well, maybe Emily. Well, I have a couple thoughts. One, you know, I definitely have some high-end malls in like Long Island where like I can't afford to shop. So I do buy it, but I also think there's maybe a storyline here where, you know, Emily hears, you know, you shop all the time, like you've out shopped, blah, blah, blah. And like her first thought is to just go to a shopping mecca, you know, to sort of play out that frustration and just be like, oh, I shop all the time. Great. I'm going to the mall. You know, like I kind of feel like it's almost a reaction, like a childish reaction to, you know, the offhand comment that Richard makes. So I do buy it because it seems desperate.
Good thoughts.
Somebody on Instagram Live who's having surprise trouble connecting to Clubhouse said that they actually, to clarify, they said that product was designed in 1800 whatever, or 18 something. So this person might have said that they didn't necessarily interpret it as an actual antique, but that it was, you know, first designed, you know,
Like a replica.
yeah, that it was like that it's a replica of a design, or it's a design that's been around for a long time in high-end stores and now might, you know, find its way into it. Just felt very like, you know, came in a crate type thing, which just does not fit with any mall anything that I can imagine. But I don't know. There are some of those like Persian rug stores in malls. I guess I could give that, like, some of those Persian rug stores have like Persian rugs that are like high-end Persian rugs that I have to imagine are pretty intense.
You can find weird stuff. I'm just jumping in to say that I once found Nazi stamps at the mall, so you can find so many weird things at the mall.
Shauna, Jen, and Mary are flashing.
And Samantha also was flashing with Shauna earlier.
Shauna, I saw flashing first.
Okay, Shauna, and then we'll go Mary.
Okay, so when I was growing up, the lady who babysat / raised me, we would actually take a city bus on Saturdays, and we would go to the mall, and we would window shop if we didn't have any money, and we would eat at the Woolworth counter. You know, I mean, ours didn't really have like a snack bar, you know, like what they had, like a big area like that. It was just like kind of like all over the place, you know. So, but yeah, I remember the like Julius's. I remember like Woolworths. They had like, I mean, oh my God, everything. And my best times in my life were just running up and down inside the mall, not even buying anything, just being there. But going back to like the Emily thing, sorry, I had to say that. Going back to the Emily thing and her throwing that fit or kind of having that loud moment, not fit, but having that loud moment in the store, you know, I mean, like I said before, you know, when it was stifled within these last couple of episodes, and then all of a sudden, here it is again. You know, it's filled up and she has to get it out. And so, you know, I mean, you kind of like see that, again, that human, you know, that real life kind of thing happening. Okay, I'm done.
Cool.
So I was,
yeah, Mary.
I was just gonna add off of someone who just spoke, I'm sorry, I'm not sure who, saying that Emily was like responding to the comments from Richard and just desperate to go shopping. It actually made me think, like, I agree with you, John, that I would not expect her to be at that level. I would think she would be at a higher level of like shopping establishments. But my impression is those establishments are item specific, like it's a shoe store, it's a bag store, it's a clothes store. And I think she didn't really have something specific she wanted to buy. So perhaps going to the department store, which she may not go to, I mean, they recognize her, so she goes to it enough. But it's a way for her to just walk aimlessly and point and get anything, as opposed to trying to focus on what it is that she wants and going to that specific store.
Yeah, that actually tracks. I can buy that. I just wanted to also make a note that we have a new member on the couch, and her name is Sherry Pop-Tart with Mayor, who I guess has gotten a new account.
Yeah, thankfully my daughter was home today, so I was able to have it linked to her phone on my iPad. But if somebody called me, it knocked me out of the room, and then I couldn't get back in.
Well, I'm
Welcome
glad
back,
that you're back.
Yeah,
Welcome
thanks.
back, Sherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back.
We only have a couple minutes to sort of wrap up some of this. Who was next? Like what's the order here?
Samantha and then Jen, I believe.
All right. So why don't we do Samantha, Jen, and then we'll close up. We'll drop everybody back down to the beanbags, and we'll go again for our next episode. And reminder, your kernels are sprouted, so don't forget to collect. You have another 15 minutes before the kernels for this particular episode they will wither away. Samantha.
Okay. So on a side note, I just wanted to acknowledge how great Kelly Bishop was in this episode, because she was showing both Emily's fierce side, but also her vulnerability. That's all.
Yeah, that scene at the end, that scene was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to throw another theory out. I think that maybe they're going to get separated.
How many kernels do we get if you're wrong?
Oh no, that one sounded way too enthusiastic.
6,000 kernels.
Dear God, we'd be set for the rest of the
I feel a little less sure about that theory. I feel a little less sure about that theory, but that's
Well, we
fun.
can't tell you if you're right or wrong. So.
But I don't think divorced, but I think separated, maybe for a time. You know, like it just feels like, oh gosh, that Apple thing. That was a bummer, and also a bummer because I know I've done that kind of thing before. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I say. That some husbands, like, you know, the women go to get a haircut and they come in, they're like, oh, and they're so
We lost you there for a second, or I lost you there for a second.
Okay, yeah.
I was getting nervous.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too.
he was getting kicked again.
Oh no. Tiffany, can you repeat that? Like half of what you said was gone.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Can you hear?
Yikes.
We lost you again.
Right when you said, can you hear? and that was it. You want to try one more time?
How about now?
Thumbs up.
Okay. I was just gonna say that husbands do that all the time. Like, I think, you know, they, especially when there's someone that stays at home, they go and buy stuff and decorate the house, and it's just not important sometimes to husbands. And so I think it is sad in a way, but I think it is normal. It does happen.
Totally normal, and I don't think that it's sad because like he did it, right? Like I said, I've done it before, but particularly sad within the context of how Emily's feeling right now in their marriage, and you know, and just yeah, I mean, and just in the context of the whole season, you know. I don't think this Penelon thing has completely gone away. I feel like that's going to be coming back, and oh my goodness, what if they get separated and in that time he ends up going on dates with Penelon? What if that happens?
How many kernels again you gonna give her?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, how many?
Everybody's a little kernel happy today.
Yeah,
That
you
should be
all
an
are a little too
insane. Every time you get
enthusiastic.
something wrong, give us all like 10 kernels or something.
Okay,
It'd be like
so
10 points for Gryffindor.
it was Samantha, and then was it Tiffany, or was there somebody else? Okay.
Jen, I believe.
Oh, Jen. So why don't we end it with Jen, and then I'm going to ask everyone if they could please move themselves back to the beanbags. Jen.
Jen has disappeared.
Oh, okay. Well, we're 3 minutes over. Let's try and stick to schedule as best we can. If you could all move to the beanbags, I will do my couch thing and get some folks up here.
So